right, what's up everyone? Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm your host, and today I am fully throwing on my self-improvement coaching hat because we are diving into the ultimate playbook for academic success. Seriously, we are going to completely hack your study habits, reclaim your free time, and honestly, turn you into a learning machine. Let's get into it.
Okay, be honest with me. Have you ever read an entire textbook chapter, closed the book, and realized you remember absolutely zero of what you just read? Yeah, me too. It is incredibly frustrating to put in hours of effort only to just hit a brick wall. In the academic world, this is a super common trap known as the illusion of competence. It happens when you rely on study methods that feel comfortable. They give you this totally false sense of familiarity. You think you know it, but your brain is actually just coasting on autopilot. So here is our game plan for today. First, we'll expose the trap of fake studying. Second, we're unlocking metacognition, which is basically your brain's hidden superpower. Then we'll walk through our three-step attack plan. Step 1, plan your attack. Step 2, monitor your progress. And Step 3, evaluate and adapt. Finally, we'll wrap up with how you can actually win the academic game.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the trap of fake studying, and exactly why passive review fails.
Look, those comfortable, deeply ingrained study habits you rely on, they might actually be totally sabotaging you. I'm talking about passive review here. This is stuff like rereading your notes or just mindlessly running a highlighter over a page. Doing this is literally like watching someone else lift weights at the gym and expecting yourself to get jacked. It just gives you a false sense of familiarity. Instead, you need active recall. This is where you actively force your brain to pull information from memory, using methods like blurting or taking practice tests. Active recall is the only method that actually builds your brain muscle.
Moving right along to Section 2, metacognition, aka your brain's superpower.
We really need to talk about metacognition. Now, I know that is a massive, dense psychological word, but simply put, it just means thinking about your thinking. It's leveling up your self-awareness so you can actually control your brain. It's the ability to know how you learn best, being super aware of what you know and what you don't know, and taking conscious, deliberate control of your learning process. You are no longer just the student reading a book, you've got to be the coach managing the student. And what's truly incredible is just how powerful this superpower actually is. Get this. A study of high school students in Indonesia revealed that metacognitive skills contributed a massive 71.4% to their academic success. Just having self-awareness and control over your study habits dictates nearly 3/4 of your success. So it's not just about raw intelligence, guys. It is all about strategy.
And here is the absolute best news. A research study of high schoolers in the Baramulla district shows that the vast majority of students actually already have above-average metacognitive potential. That means you already have the raw materials. You just need the playbook to unleash it. So let's build that playbook together right now.
Which brings us to Section 3. Step 1 of the playbook. Plan your attack. Welcome to the pregame.
Listen, better grades aren't about being a natural genius. They are about setting a rock-solid strategic foundation before you even crack open a textbook. Getting your pregame moves right is absolutely crucial. First, figure out your learning style. Are you visual, meaning you need charts and diagrams? Are you auditory, benefiting from reading things out loud? Or are you kinesthetic, where you need hands-on engagement? Second, you gotta set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Third, craft a dedicated, totally distraction-free study zone. And fourth, and please don't skip this one, consciously schedule your personal and social time. You desperately need balance to prevent burnout.
Oh, and here is a literal game changer of a planning hack from our sources, the 2357 spaced repetition method. This systematically spaces out your review sessions to permanently eliminate that awful last-minute cramming. Here's how it works. Start from your exam date and plan a study session the day before. Then schedule a session 2 days before that, then 3 days before that, then 5, then 7. You're basically working backward, studying the material right at the exact moment your brain is most likely to forget it. Boom, memorized.
All right, Section 4, Step 2, monitor your progress. We are officially in the mid-game.
So now you're in the trenches. You're studying. During this time, you need to engage in periodic self-testing. One of the absolute best active monitoring techniques out there is called the blurting method. It's exactly what it sounds like. You close your book, grab a blank piece of paper, and literally blurt out, just write down every single thing you can possibly remember about the topic.
It completely forces you to prove what you actually know, and instantly highlights exactly where your memory is weak.
And to stay hyper-focused during this midcame, check out this brilliant, totally relatable hack from Lynn Lee, a student at Yale University. She says, "I like to prop my phone up and video myself in a time-lapse whilst I study. This helps me stay on task because I can't be on my phone at all." How smart is that? It outsmarts your own distractions, it enforces accountability, and honestly, it taps into research showing that just seeing your own reflection makes you act more self-aware.
Here are a few more evidence-based physiological tactics for your midgame. You got to think of academic endurance just like athletic conditioning. Track your energy to find your 3 to 4 peak focus hours. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Figure it out. Use short, structured breaks. Maybe try the 25-minute Pomodoro technique. Also, you have to get 8 hours of sleep the night before an exam, because sleep is literally the time when your memories actually form. And hey, if you're stuck, go for a short walk. Getting up and moving drastically boosts critical thinking and your attention span.
Moving on to Section 5, Step 3, Evaluate and Adapt. Welcome to the postgame. Now this is where the top-tier students completely separate themselves from the pack. Evaluating means acting like your own coach. You need to take a step back and honestly appraise your learning process. Look at what study habits failed, acknowledge them without beating yourself up, and be willing to pivot and try a totally new tactic. And don't be afraid to actively seek feedback from your teachers and peers so you can spot your blind spots. There's a really great example of this from a Harvard student we found in our sources. They noted that past exam papers give them an incredible baseline to figure out what they know and what they really need to focus on before they even begin. Treating past exams or practice tests as immediate feedback loops will drastically shorten your studying process, because you know right away if your strategy is actually working or if it's failing. Finally, Section 6, Winning the Academic Game, Smarter, Not Harder. Let's look at the ultimate payoff of everything we've talked about today. Adopting this metacognitive system doesn't just bump up your GPA, it actively lowers your stress and that terrible exam anxiety. It prevents you from hitting that dreaded wall of burnout. And, beautifully, it builds your emotional intelligence and self-awareness, which, by the way, research proves are just as crucial for navigating the real world and your future career. You aren't just learning history or math anymore, you are literally learning how to learn. So, I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Take a hard look at your current playbook. What is one study habit you're going to change today to start studying smarter, not just harder? Take conscious control of your brain, trust the process, and I promise you will be absolutely amazed at what you can achieve. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy studying!